Hey guys, Antagoniize here with another deck profile video. This is going to be on my Dark Worlds. I've had Dark Worlds for a couple of months, maybe like 3 or 4 months. I just kind of put them off aside because I was trying to make my Injectors and just playing with my other decks. But I put these back together and this deck has a lot of potential. It's very, very explosive. It's kind of herp derp, but what top decks out there aren't that really herp derp. But you really have to be smart and when to use cards and when to save cards, which is kind of why I like it. It could be explosive, but it still takes that, that skill aspect. It still takes that you have to think because you don't want to trap yourself in a bad situation. But before I start, I just want to apologize because I don't have a side deck or an extra deck for this deck. I really don't. I'm not gonna say you don't need one, but I just put this back together a couple of days ago, so I just gotta just work with it. But starting off, we have, of course, the triple boss monster, 3 Grapplas. Then we have 3 Snows, 3 Brows, 2 Silvas, and 1 Beige. I used to run like tour guides and all that kind of engine in this deck, but I went and stuck with just straight pure Dark World build because I don't know, it's just more, I think, consistent in a way. It can be inconsistent, but I just think overall this deck is more better and just way more consistent. For the spells, we have Triple Gates, best field card spell in the game, Triple Dealings, the card that makes everybody really mad, Triple Drag Down, Triple Upstart, Double Gateway to the Dark World, or to Dark World. This card has people getting mixed feelings about it. I never ran it originally, but I saw some Dark World builds run this card, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try to, see how this works. I'm gonna see if it's worth running or not. And the answer is yes, this card is very good. For people that don't know what it does, it comes in the structure deck, so if you have a structure deck, Gates of the Underworld, you should know what it does. But this card is target 1 Dark World monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. You cannot summon other monsters the turn you activate this card. Now, just because that last line of text where you cannot summon monsters the turn this is activated, or you can't summon other monsters the turn this is activated, this gets people kind of in the negative side of this card because, oh, I can't special summon another Dark World or whatever. Why can't I? Why would I run this? Because let's say you have a Grapha on the field. Let's just say you have this guy on the field. You have this set down. They Dark Hole like all your monsters. No, actually, let's say you have a Grapha and a Snow. Let's just say that. They Dark Hole it, and this card is set face down. They attack you, whatever, or even in battle phase. You activate the card. You can bring back Grapha, or in the end phase, their end phase, you flip it and you bring back Snow. So, and then when it's your turn, whatever you draw, then it's a free, boom, you bounce, you have Grapha back on the field. Pretty much wasting nothing, and you get Snow back to your hand. It's just pretty much, it helps the deck with speed and consistency, so that's why I prefer running 2. Most people run 3, but I think 3 is too cloggy, so I just keep it at 2. On to the card that makes everybody really mad more than Drag Down, Card Destruction. Yeah, no explanation needed. It's Card Destruction. I almost top decked this or Drag Down every single time, like first draw. so it gets people really mad. Then we have one Foolish Burial and one Reborn. On to the traps, we have the 3 Reckless Greed. Now, before I put this away, I'm gonna explain. This card could help you win games, or it can help you suck ass at the game and get your shit pushed in. I've had times where I was stupid with this card. I've had a lot of times where I was stupid with this card and just randomly and blindly just flipped it and drew 2, thinking that it's a good, like that's the way it's supposed to be used. That's not the proper use of this card. You have to really know when you can and cannot use this. I've had so many games where I've been trapped under this card. It sucks. You just use your hand. You play this trying to draw more cards to your hand, but then they're crappy cards also, and you're just stuck for 2 turns not drawing anything, which is just horrible. It's lost me so many games. So really, you really have to know when and when not to use this card. Next, we have 3 Skill Drain. Skill Drain, in other words, or in the simplest terms, it makes people pissed off. Like seriously, I flip this card when they try to use an effect, and they get really mad. And plus, I usually like have another one set down after I have one face up already on the field. They MST this at the beginning. They're like, oh yeah, I got rid of their Skill Drain, awesome. Activate effect, no. And they get just ragey because this card messes up most decks. So yeah, this is another reason why I stopped running the Tour Guide engine, the Transarch Fiend, and all that other stuff, because this card just interfered with it too much. I really didn't like this card at the beginning, but then as soon as I started running the pure Dark World build, I really got accustomed to it, and I love it. I love having 3. Next we have 2 Mind Crush. Mind Crush is funny. It's Drag Down and this card are pretty much, an amazing combo. You see their hand, you pick apart the best card, then they draw a card, you flip this, and you make a minus another card. So it's just you making a -2, and it really just, especially when you play first turn, it throws them off so bad. It's like you go first, you play Drag Down, whatever. They draw, boom, you just mess up their whole game plan again, and it's going to be hard to recover off that, which is why I love running 2 of these. Next, I play 1 Bottomless. You don't need this card in the deck. I just run it because stopping power. Just remove stuff that I don't like. Then we have 1 Eradicator Epidemic Virus. It helps, slow your opponent down a lot. You get to see their hand and their feel, so you gain more knowledge about them, and you could just shut them down easy. And for the last 2 cards, we have Double Bribes. I was always a fan of this card. Most decks don't really appreciate it, but in a deck like this where you have so many spells and traps, I mean, you need some way besides Solemn Judgment to stop stuff. And this card, of course, it makes them +1, but who cares? I've had times where I've had full back row and the gates up. They Heavy Storm. They're like, yeah. I'm just like, no, Great Bribe. And they get really pissed off. Or, let's say you want to summon Snow to bounce back for Grapha. They go Solemn Warning. You're like, no, Dark Bribe. You still pay 2,000, but here, take a free card. I've had times where they played Solemn Judgment. Pay after life points. Sorry, Dark Bribe. It's just a really trolly card in my vision, in my view. It does make them plus, but with this deck having so much stop power, such as drag down, card destruction, you don't have to worry about it. It just does what it does. It stops stuff, and especially since you don't run the Judgment Trio or the Solemn Trio, This is just an extra substitution, and I think a better substitution, especially in this deck. So yeah, those are my last two track cards. Well guys, thanks for watching my Dark World video. This deck has a lot of potential and it's extremely cheap to make. I mean, all you really need are 3 structure decks, 3 drag downs, 3 upstarts. I don't know if Reborn comes in it. 3 reckless, a couple skill drains, and that's pretty much all you need. Everything else comes in the structure deck. It's really just affordable deck, and I love running it, hands down. But once again, sorry that I don't have a side deck or extra deck. Hopefully I get all the stuff soon. But especially since the ban list is coming out soon, I really don't want to spend any more money on the game. Especially since a card might get hit and I'm gonna be like, what the hell, I bought this card for no reason. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.